control the game like we hoped early in the fourth quarter, and that put the pressure on the starters to come back and kind of save them. So our bench needs to do a better job of keeping the game going. But you know, we came out, we played well, we shot well. Second half was a little different. We didn't shoot as well, but we kept playing hard through the third quarter, and we still, you know, established our big lead in the third quarter. But you know, we let them come back, and you know, we let our guard down for a little bit. And you know, this is the big leagues. This is the pros. You know, any team can come back on you. They get hot from the 3-point line. They can get back in a hurry, and that's what happened tonight. They got hot from the 3-point line, and we made some turnovers for them, and JB Casio threw back the clock, man. He played like he always plays 10, 12 years ago. He would always lead those fourth quarter surges by Alaska by hitting those big threes and making steals, and he really really tossed the clock back there. I was really surprised and happy for him. He's a nice kid. I like seeing him succeed.
Coach, in your 4 losses, what do you think was lacking? And how did you address it tonight and then going forward as we head towards playoffs?
Well, you know, the bottom line is that first of all, we lost one game on Christmas Day and against a really good team, Magnolia. We didn't play well there. And then, of course, we had the long break. And we tried to make some changes during the break. We tried to do some new things. And they didn't quite take hold. And then we found out that we were playing, you know, Moralco, Talking Tex, and San Miguel the first week back. And we thought we'd kind of grow into the new things that we were doing. And guys had a hard time figuring out the concepts, and it showed against those really good teams. Those really good teams, if you make mistakes, they take advantage of it. So we're still trying to learn it. We're still trying to grow with it. And we finally took a step in the right direction, and we got to turn around and try to do it again on Sunday. So, you know, we needed this one to stay in the fight. So now we're staying in the fight. We're going to keep on fighting. Well, we were surprised. You know, he was basically not practicing at all until about 3 days ago. Suddenly, he went to see the doctor, and the doctor said that, you know, he looked healed. And we were all surprised. He was supposed to be another 3 weeks out. The original diagnosis was like six to 8 weeks. So it's only been really 3 weeks since 3 or 4 weeks. So we thought he'd be out for much longer. And so, you know, we slowly tested him a little bit in one practice, and he didn't feel any pain. He did another practice, and then before you know it, he was all over the place. So, but we didn't know he was going to play today. I asked him. I came into the game. I said, "What do you think?" He said, "Can you play the game today?" And he said, "Yeah, I can play. I'll try, coach." So he went out and tried. So that's, again, another good step for him. You can see what he lends for us. You know, he's another big body. He's a guy who can guard the import as well as play different positions. And he's just so active. And that's what our team really wants, is that active player that goes to the boards, run the floor, you know, dive on the floor for loose balls. And that's kind of what we were missing when we didn't have him over these last 4 games. Well, I think Joe could come back pretty soon. Stanley's still a long ways away, and Jared is definitely out for the conference. So, and Mark is kind of deciding what he wants to do. He's had a chronic injury that he's having a hard time getting off. He's been doing his own rehab on it. So he's not exactly sure when he wants to come back, if he wants to come back, if he's going to fight through this new injury he is. A calf injury, if you remember, was the one that destroyed Danny Siegel's career. It never really got chronic. Every time he'd injured again and then injured again. And that's kind of where Mark is right now. So we're hoping for the best for Mark, but right now that's really his call. It's not our call. Yeah, Stanley's here watching, but he's still alone. He wants to play. I mean, oh gosh, he comes to practice and tries to take shots, and all the trainers are yelling at him and stuff and saying, you know, you can't do this, you can't do that. And, you know, players, when they're coming off a major injury, they have to be told what to do. You know, they have to be protected from themselves because they always want to come back sooner. They always say, oh, I feel great. And then boom, you have, you know, something happens, you have a setback. So he's got a course that he's got to get through before he can actually come back. And that course is going to take another month at least. So we're not expecting him back, but if we get another miraculous Sidney Omerberry back, you know, maybe he's a Wolverine. I don't know. Heals right away. But who knows? But bottom line is that we're not expecting Stanley back. And we're certainly for sure not going to get Jared back for this conference. Well, yeah, they did it. Well, they were doing it for most of the game and it wasn't bothering us. And then our second group went out there and we had some guys out there that aren't used to doing our press break, you know, Brian, Nards, and then Arvin was back in a position where he had to handle the ball, which he shouldn't be doing. So it was, if anything, that was my fault for putting a lineup out there that wasn't prepared for that kind of thing. But we had the big lead, 26-point lead when we did it. And I thought, okay, you know, give these guys some time to go out there and do it. But it kind of blew up in our faces. So then the starters had to come back and the momentum was so firmly in their corner. It was hard for the starters to come back and settle the game down and get the momentum back to us. And that's what happens. You know, I mean, it happens in games. That's why comebacks happen. And hopefully I'll be a little smarter next time. I'm not a guy who uses my bench early. I usually wait to the, you know, the very end. But today I thought I'd do it. Now I learned my lesson. Probably won't see me do that for a while. Just got to be reminded that's not the way you're supposed to do it. You're going to have to read it to me. I don't have my glasses. I love Nards. Again, he's one of those guys that's really active. You know, he plays hard literally all the time, whether it be practice or whether it be games. He's in your face all the time. He's a really good decision maker. He sees the court really well. And if you leave him open, he'll knock down shots. So, yeah, I mean, basically he's playing Stanley's position and he's filling Stanley's shoes, which it's really hard because it's a lot of expectations to fill Stanley's shoes. So, but there's not a person on our team doesn't love having Nards on our team. And now we know why Morocco was so upset when they lost him, because he's a great player and a great person. And he's, again, one of those guys, just what the doctor ordered for us. Same with Sidney in terms of, you know, we need guys who blend that activity to us, high activity level. And we missed that with Aljon. That's one guy we didn't talk about, Aljon. Aljon was that guy that always our active guy, the defender, rebounder, runs the floor, makes the big plays at the big time. And Aljon has been something we've sorely missed. And there's no timetable for him right now. We have no idea when he'll be back. He's had a couple setbacks to his injury. We thought he'd be back much earlier, setback, then he thought he'd be back again, another big setback. So we don't know where he is at this point.